Hello, and we got your daily dose of crypto news. It seems like crypto advocate Cynthia Lummis has turned on crypto, and she has stabbed us in the back and betrayed us because she has advocated to the DOJ that Binance and Tether need to be sued and also need to be investigated and possibly with criminal charges. Now, this might seem strange for Cynthia Lummis, who has been gung-ho and always pro-crypto. Why is this? Well, first of all, she might be only pro-Bitcoin, because a lot of these pro-crypto advocates, what they really are is they're pro-Bitcoin, and Cynthia Lummis seems to be one of those pro-Bitcoiners. But even more, she seems to have fallen for the lies of that ancient enemy of crypto, Elizabeth Warren, because she specifically mentioned Hamas and that crypto was actually being used, especially via Binance and Tether, to fund Hamas. Now, overall, I think, not just from Binance and Tether, I think Hamas has gathered maybe $400,000 from crypto out of the billions they've actually garnered from USD and other ways. So only a very, very small, very tiny portion of Binance's or Tether's volume would actually be used to actually fund Hamas. That's what the on-chain data shows. Elizabeth Warren has very little actual data to back her assertions. Obviously, she's just trying to paint crypto in a very bad light. And Cynthia Lummis fell for it, or she just trying to make herself look good to constituents, and she's just agreeing with it, even though she knows that it is wrong. You know, politicians do that just to make themselves look good, but I don't think Cynthia Lummis should have, because, you know, I bet a lot of crypto aficionados and crypto supporters support her, and after this, I don't know if they're going to be so supportive of this Cynthia Lummis person, because obviously she's not working for them and she is not on their side. So Cynthia Lummis, I don't know. That's a strike on your pro-crypto record. And like I said, she might just be pro-Bitcoin, but you need to be pro-crypto as well, because the entire industry is very important and not just Bitcoin. They've been after Binance and Tether for years now, and they've actually come up with a big fat nothing, especially after SBF. I think they're still pissed off that he took down their golden boy, because, you know, the golden boy was running a fraudulent business, and they're trying to paint Binance in the same way. But however, they've tried to exchange out Binance before, and Binance just smacked them across the head by actually dealing with the trade out. Tether as well, very well. They both were able actually to redeem people's money, so they were completely solvent, at least up to many billions of dollars. And the attempt to actually redeem them out completely and utterly failed and flopped. So we have to take that into account, that these are actually legitimate companies that, you know, do they engage in some shady business? Probably, but everyone in crypto does, and everyone in the banking sector does as well. I don't think you could use maybe $400,000 Hamas to basically say, you know, crypto is bad and they're being used for illicit purposes, because, you know, there's always going to be a small percentage of money that gets used for illicit purposes, no matter what system you go through. But Cynthia Lummis seems to be on board the Elizabeth Warren train in trying to paint crypto as a useful tool for terror. But Hamas themselves said, and I wouldn't really believe Hamas either, that they actually stopped using crypto because it was more easily trackable than cash. The more easily trackable than cash part, I would definitely believe. Paper cash is notoriously hard to track. Whereas crypto on-chain, Bitcoin, we need to stop pretending it's private. It's actually pretty easy for the government to actually track Bitcoin. Maybe Monero would be completely private, but if you want to target Monero, you know, go ahead and target Monero. Don't target the entire crypto industry. Don't target Binance and Tether, because that has the potential to have catastrophic consequences. Now, will the DOJ actually do anything? I'm not really sure. It seems like the American DOJ and the SEC, maybe not the SEC, but the DOJ has passed the baton onto Brazil and other countries to try to take down Binance, because they weren't able to do it themselves. Bitcoin is going to form a golden cross soon, or it's on track. It's only about $1,000 away, and the golden cross is one bullish signal that a lot of traders follow. So it tends to have a self-fulfilling prophecy effect, because people believe in it, it tends to work. But it's also kind of a delayed indicator, meaning that most of the pump is already over by the time the golden cross comes out. So it's a double-edged sword. Would I buy into the golden cross? Probably not. So in the 3 to 6 months charts, the golden cross has been right about 5 out of 6 times, which is pretty good. In the 12 months chart, the golden cross has been invalidated by the death cross 3 out of 6 times. So it has basically a success rate of 50% on the 12-month chart. I do actually think this time it's going to validate itself on the 6-month and 12-month chart. The 3-month chart I'm less certain on because there could actually be a small pullback between now and the halving. Sometimes there is that, and I wouldn't rule it out. We've pumped a lot lately. There are always going to be pullbacks, but I believe on the 6-month chart, which is when the halving is, and the 12-month chart about 6 months after the halving, I actually do believe it's going to go up. We're going to get the ETF most likely before the halving. It's like a 90% chance, 95% chance right before the halving. And that's going to cause Bitcoin to actually go up. So I do think this particular golden cross will actually play out better than most of the others. And we could say 200 to 300% gains in Bitcoin in the next 12 months and probably like 50-60% in the next 6 months because that is exactly when the halving is. So golden cross, I do believe self-fulfilling prophecy. On the day it crosses, which could be this month, I do expect another little pump, but maybe we will dump afterwards. And it could actually get invalidated on the 3-month with the death cross, but on the 6 and 12-month, it might be golden cross again. And then at that point, we would really have a bigger run. So I think there's going to be increased volatility, but this is actually one of the signals that people do pay attention to. It's not like the Bart Simpson head signal or whatever the hell it's called, but it is one of these signals that a lot of people actually pay attention to, and it's a fairly well-known signal. So keep your eyes peeled out for this because this could actually result in another small leg up for Bitcoin, which is exactly what we're holding for. So UK has passed a crypto seizure bill. This was actually brought up last year. We did talk about it. It was proposed, but it's now going to get the royal nod of approval. The royal nod of approval is essentially a rubber stamp. As long as it gets past both houses of the legislature, the king's essentially going to sign it. The royal family really doesn't have any power in the UK these days. They're more of just like a ceremonial rubber stamp, and they perform like, state ceremonies and stuff like that. The royal family, though, should not be abolished, not because I like royals, because they actually produce income for Great Britain. Yes, it costs a lot of money to maintain royal families, but the tourism that actually comes from the royals actually far outweighs the cost to actually maintain the royals. Remember, a lot of people actually go to the UK just to visit the royal family and watch all their drama and stuff like that. And without the royal family and their drama and all that stuff, I don't think the UK would get nearly as much tourism. So just the tourism money actually offsets the cost of having the royal family. And because of that, you should maintain a monarch. Plus, approval ratings of Queen Elizabeth II are quite high. Not Queen Elizabeth, they were quite high. I don't really know about King Charles. It's been over a year since that, and I still think Elizabeth is the Queen of England, but it is Charles now. King Chuck. Actually, I think it's King George, but I'm going to call him King Chuck because King Chuck sounds a lot better. But either way, I think this bill might be used for nefarious purposes because the government can technically claim that anything is being used for an illegal purpose, whether it's terrorism, drugs, money laundering, tax evasion. They can actually seize any crypto. Now, how they'll go about seizing it is a different story. I don't know how they plan on going to seize the on-chain crypto because I don't know if they actually can. They can ask on-ramps to lock it out of their system and maybe freeze the Bitcoin in their own wallets once you get it. And that could be true. So if you're afraid of that, you might want to avoid exchanges for a while. But I think most law-abiding people will actually be okay. But there is the potential for quite a bit of abuse of this law by the feds. So we need to actually watch this very, very closely. Because, they could make up like any excuse to seize your crypto as long as they somehow find some suspicion. And the government can always find some suspicion of something, especially of something like crypto, which they may or may not like. They obviously want to restrict it. They obviously want to control it. And they might use their broad-ranging powers to actually control this stuff. So I am not really in favor of this law. Does illicit use of crypto need to be controlled? Sure. But laws like this, I don't think are the ways to do it, because I think this will hurt a lot of law-abiding citizens for the sake of catching a few criminals, and I don't think it's actually worth the cost. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.